Speaking of Josh Duggar, I am ashamed to say this, but I have slept with him. A few years ago when the whole Ashley Madison scandal came out, I was one of the women that, he paid me, a generous or really good amount of money. I'm not gonna disclose that on here, but
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday, June 14th, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. This video is honestly one I've been kind of literally avoiding because I just didn't really think there was anything to this, and I still don't really think there's a lot to this, but I've been getting so many messages from you guys, and I've been getting so many DMs and emails about the story that has been circulating online about Josh Duggar. So I was like, let's just talk about it, because when there's something that comes up, I like to verify if something's true or not. And in this case, I can't. So at this point, all I can say is that it's a rumor. So this is what's going on. A couple weeks ago, this girl named Carly, who does OnlyFans, made a video where she basically said that she was one of the girls that Josh Duggar met on Ashley Madison, and that she was paid for interacting with him, and she had all of these things that Josh apparently had requested of her. So the video was on TikTok. It's posted as a duet on TikTok, but the original video has now been deleted. And this comes from a girl that is a young woman who is, from what I can ascertain from online, 26 years old. So this would have been 7 years ago. So she would have been 19 at the time. And this is the first time these claims have gone public. We know that there's at least one person that has been very consistent since 2015 about a relationship, or not even a relationship, two separate interactions that this woman had allegedly with Josh Duggar, named Danica Dillon, who actually sued him in Pennsylvania and then in federal court. And that lawsuit was dropped. She didn't retract the claims, but she did post a car a couple days later and said that just because lawsuits are dropped doesn't mean there's not truth to it. Now, Josh claimed and was somehow able to verify that he wasn't in the state at those days, and that's sort of where it went. Now, when Danica's done more interviews, she's basically said that during that time, he had just a lot of powerful lawyers, and she didn't really have the money and the ability to really fight that. Gave up the fight. Like, she didn't have the manpower. She didn't have like the legal team that Josh did, and so she felt like she just had to drop the suit. She said, and is consistently told, the exact same story about how she met him when she was dancing, and she did some dances for him, and then they met at a hotel later on that night, and it was horrible. So around the same time as the leak happened, so the leak happens in 2015, Gawker is actually the one that breaks the story and shows Josh Duggar had two separate accounts on this website, which is where men go to date women or hook up with women that while they're married, and it's married people hooking up with each other. So around that time, there was only one other woman that came forward, but she never came forward and publicly identified herself. And that was this woman that In Touch put a story out that said that she believed at one point that she was pregnant with Josh's baby. And that story now only exists in a Daily Mail article from 2015. The original article by In Touch has been scrubbed and is no longer on their website. So I don't know if there just was no meat to the story. When everything happens, Danica does a lie detector test. She actually passes the lie detector test, goes into graphic detail about what she claims happens. And at the same time, this other woman comes forward anonymously and says that she's afraid that she might be carrying his baby, and she did not want to actually be pregnant with his kid if that was the case. Nothing ever happened after that. There was no other follow-ups. The person never publicly identified themselves. So there was only 2 women that actually came forward at the time. Now, that doesn't mean that there weren't more women, but in the same breath, nobody else between 2015 and the week of his sentencing has come forward. The woman, this new woman, hadn't come forward at any point in time when she was 19 when it happened. She did not come forward after the arrest. She did not come forward until he was sentenced. So obviously there was some confusion as to, like, why would you come out with this now? Why wouldn't you have said something then? Is this even real? She deleted the video. So we don't really know beyond what she claims happened, okay? And I'm inclined to think that maybe it's not true, simply because the account now is deactivated. The original video has been taken down, and there's nothing left of it. What she said was that she was ashamed to say this, but she had done stuff with him a few times when the whole Ashley Madison scandal had come out, that she was one that met him during that same time period and that it made her absolutely sick. She said he paid me a generous amount, a really good amount of money, but yeah, I slept with Josh Duggar. I'm so disgusted. I've been with him. And then she deactivated the account. That's it. Like, that's literally it. That there's this one video, she's deactivated the account, and there's no actual proof. Now, I don't know how she met him. She said that it came out when the whole Ashley Madison thing came out. She also made some allegations about how Josh wanted her to wear specific clothing and do specific things to her body to prepare for meeting him. And she just found it all creepy now. At the time, she said it wasn't super uncommon for men to make unusual requests. So I, again, am not clear if this is actually true. She hasn't said anything since. Comments are, the account that it was posted on is gone. So I don't really know what else to say at this point other than it's an unverified story by a woman who claims to have slept with Josh, and she made the allegation right after Josh was sentenced. Now, people do lie on TikTok and they make things up for clout. This is one thing I don't know why anyone would want to make up. Like, why on earth would you want to say that you've been with someone like Josh? That's a horrible lie if it's a lie. So I always want to believe someone when they say they've done something. But in this case, it just seems very suspect that she makes she makes this video and then just dips out and disappears. Josh has cheated on his wife. Josh admitted to cheating on his wife, and the Duggars actually deleted his post. Now, so back in 2015, the statement that he put out basically admitted that he had been unfaithful and that he had developed something online. I've been the biggest hypocrite ever. While espousing and faith and family values, I've secretly, over the last several years, been viewing online stuff. It's an addiction, and I've become unfaithful to my wife. I've brought hurt and a reproach to my family, close friends and fans of our show with my actions that happened when I was 14 and 15 years old, and now I have broken their trust. The post was actually put out, I believe, by Chad Gallagher, who was their PR person, but it was on their website at one point in time, and if you remember, the court fought tooth and nail to not include his infidelity in both the sentencing as well as in the case. So nothing about his transgressions, nothing about the Ashley Madison accounts, nothing about anything. I don't know if they would have actually met on Ashley Madison because they were using bots to lure people in. Okay, so in 2015, Gizmodo actually had done an analysis of Ashley Madison's people that were on there, and they had determined that Ashley Madison had created more than 70,000 female bots to send fake messages to users, and they worked as a sales team. And then when the men would sign up for new accounts, they'd be messaged by a bot posting as an interested woman. And then the men would pay a small fee to reply to the bots. And according to Gizmodo, 80% of initial purchases were made by a male trying to communicate with a bot. So I don't know that this is actually true because it sounds like nobody was actually really meeting people from Ashley Madison. And Josh didn't meet Danica from Ashley Madison. Josh met her by going to a club where she was dancing allegedly and then buying dances from her and then going to a hotel room. So if this woman claims that she met him on Ashley Madison, that's probably the first indication that this isn't true because Ashley Madison lied and they had way more men on there. They wanted men to sign up and they didn't have enough women, and so they created fake accounts. So it was kind of a scam. And I don't know that, so again, is she telling the truth? Or is it probable that she might have made this up because of the attention she might get for her OnlyFans account, which again is a horrible lie to create. So I don't know if she's lying. I don't know. I do know that Ashley Madison had fake accounts. I do know that she made one claim. There's been absolutely no claims since. She deactivated her account and there's nothing else besides that. I'm sure all these different outlets have run stories. Not a single one has been able to contact her. So I'm inclined to believe that this is actually not true. Now, it doesn't change the fact that he cheated. We already knew he cheated. And there's probably a lot of women that we don't even know about because there's always been these long-standing rumors that Josh had a hotel. He had a place that he rented. He had an apartment that he rented in DC. He lived in Maryland. And so a lot of the people, when sessions are going on, the people that work in Washington will have crash pads. And he apparently had a crash pad and a crash pad where a lot of girls, he would bring girls to late at night after he'd been out drinking at the bar. That was the rumor. So it's more probable that he might have met people out than meeting them when he was online. So I don't know that I actually believe this person's story, but it's another topic to discuss. It's another thing to bring to the table. And I feel like if we're going to talk about the Duggars, I can't ignore these stories that are big that are circulating. So do I believe that this woman was a mistress? Probably not. Do I think that Josh cheated on his wife? I know he did. Will any other mistresses come forward? I highly doubt it. It would be detrimental to any woman at this point to publicly admit an affair with Josh. Because at this point, what does it serve? It serves them no good. They're beyond statute of limitations to report anything. If something would have happened, I believe it would have happened in 2015 when other people were coming forward. So that doesn't mean there's not other women. I just can't see a woman in this day and age actually coming forward and admitting that. I think most women would probably want to tuck that in the back and not even acknowledge it. So that's my 2 cents. I always want to believe people, but there's also a lot of people that will do and make up stories, and there's a lot of flags here that tells me that this is probably not true. Now, if I'm wrong, I will be corrected, and if I'm wrong and you think I'm wrong, you can tell me. What are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.